Hey everyone, and welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a quick look here at Avalanche. And just before we do, obviously peek over at Bitcoin, kind of see what's going on. Because ultimately it's been moving up more so than down over the last 3 trading days. But bear in mind, these are weekend movements. Okay, weekends are traditionally green. Mondays, Tuesdays are traditionally red. Not to say that everything's just going to drop out tomorrow, but there is a likelihood of that. I'm just waiting to that point to kind of see what's going on with the market. We get some stability Monday, Tuesday, then all good. Start sending out some signals and getting back on track, right? But for right now, we're just kind of waiting for the dust to settle and to see if Bitcoin's going to want to go down or up. Because ultimately, we are seeing some short-term bullish momentum, but that is short term, right? That's when the whales have not been in the office. They've been kind of taking their weekend profits and doing whatever it is that they do. And we're driving the price up, right? We're adding to that Bitcoin dominance, which is great. But that's just kind of what's going on. So not good, not bad. It just kind of is what it is. 60,000 is the resistance, 58,000 is the support, tentative support at this point, and we'll see what happens next. All right, and just before I jump into Avalanche, this is a nice old chart. Let's take a look at this here closer. I'm not a financial advisor, right? I just want to let you know that. But I do love teaching and I love helping people become better traders. So that's why I have a trading community over through Patreon, and also I share signals for every single trade that I take, so you can kind of get the feel for what it's like to be a trader that trades every single day for a living, right? This is what I do every single day and I love it. And I like being able to share this experience with other people too. And it's amazing, awesome, cool group of folks. So check that out in your own time. In fact, month end, we're looking at the rates increasing just based on demand. So obviously try to lock that in before the month is over. Regardless of that fact, thank you so much for joining me here. Let's go ahead and jump right into Avalanche. And to clarify, I just cleared all the charts based on the simple fact that we had some previous data there, and we're going to need to draw out some new Fibonacci retracement lines because we can see the price action cranking right now. I mean, look at that, 135. We hit about 146 here today. Last time I looked at it, it was bridging just barely a little over 100. That's awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and look at kind of the standard indicators. We'll go back to Fibonacci retracement lines and work our way down. But any good trader should look at the a lot of different time frames to identify what's going on. I think the 1 day, 4 hour, 1 hour, those are the three primary ones you want to focus on. And on the 1 day chart, you can see the price is up over 70 for the RSI, and that's a pretty standard, pretty healthy thing, right? But when it gets closer to 90, which it's only at about 80 right now, then we want to start worrying. I bet it was probably much higher a couple hours ago when this was pumping, but simply put, when the RSI is up over 70, consider it a support level. So we could expect the price to continue to stay fairly high in the near future. That's a pretty common characteristic. MACD, nothing to worry about there. We're just seeing it climbing, for lack of better terms. And when we look at the 4 hour chart, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the simple moving averages and, of course, the RSI MACD as well. Pretty much the same stuff. You don't really go too far in detail with a lot of other indicators because these are the more primary ones that work very well. As you can see, the 50-day 7 moving average is effectively working as a strong support level. So that's awesome. We like to see that on the 4 hour chart. That's basically just continuing to drive the price action up. I do think we're a bit on the overextended side right now. It looks like it's come up too high for too long. Let's quickly look at this here as well. You can see we got a 9 on TD sequential. And every time we get a 9 in the past, it retraces and comes back down. Look at that. We got up to an 8, relaxed, come down. We got to a 9. We had a little bit of overtime there, and it goes sideways. So simply put, with us being at a 9 right here, and we got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 extra candlesticks above, effectively being more bullish candlesticks, we should expect a retracement in the very near future. Okay, so I would be surprised if the price continues to go much higher. It may not come crashing down, but it'll at least go sideways, right? And most sideways action, it requires an up and down action, right? It doesn't just go straight. There's no straight lines in trading, okay? So that being said, you can expect some ebbs and flows to the side here. The most recent high right here, you can see about 122. This should be a tentative support level. If we lose that, we break that, we're gonna start making lower highs and lower lows, and then at that point, we'll need to reevaluate things. But still, all in all, good shape for Avalanche. Is just overextended, right? There's no doubt about it. I think anyone could see that. And look at the RSI here, you can see 70 is working as a support level, but the common rule of thumb, and if you watched my RSI video, is that when you come down to 70 and you get that bounce, it's kind of like a dead cat in a sense where it should continue down further because the price going over 70 on RSI in the 4 hour, it shouldn't happen for very long. In other words, it's a faster moving time frame, right? So it should essentially come back down under 70 eventually. It slowly worked itself up from 50 to what that was about 80, and now it's back down. So I confidently can say that we're going to see the RSI taper off and go back under 70 as a very strong likelihood soon. Okay, so again, all good things here for Avalanche. Definitely bullish, but I would say that we're going to have to see a pullback soon, right? That's just kind of the natural law of trading. We're well above the Ishimoku cloud, but we can see this conversion line is above the actual baseline, which is very healthy, right? But the lagging span, it's coming up, right? So I would say another 12 hours, we're going to get that sign, that indication we want to go ahead and sell our position. And I would even say, perhaps even beforehand, consider trimming your position, because I don't think we're going to see it jump tremendously higher. But keep this in mind. Look at this. Look at this. This increase. This is perfect. This is like a perfect example of what higher highs and higher lows should look like, as well as the fact that a very strong bullish momentous trend should look like that. That is just perfect. So that's really, really good stuff here. Avalanche it's climbing well because it's got healthy patterns, right? These are those nice staircase patterns I always like to talk to my patrons about, and we want to see healthy increases like this. But again, you can only walk up the stairs for so long until you get tired, right? This is becoming exhausted. It's getting to that point, that state where it has to come back down and get a pullback. In fact, we look at TD sequential, we hit a 7 and got a reset. So now we're in basically a shorter time frame consolidation period, which is good. That's healthy. We need that. So this could be what we're looking for, that sideways action before, instead of retracement. It could just be going sideways for some time like this and then another leg up, right? Again, we truly don't know, but all the indicators are kind of screaming overextension, and that to me just tells me I would probably want to at least trim my position, and then when the price comes down a little bit lower, start dollar cost averaging as it goes lower. That's the general concept. So let's go ahead and look at the 4-hour. Go ahead and get a better case scenario on the more recent trends here, and kind of see what's going on here. So in other words, if Avalanche continues on the same trend that it's creating. And this is roughly about just under 3. We can round up and say that's about 3 days worth of trading data. In the last 3 days of trading data, we've increased the price from somewhere around $92 to a high of $147, right? That would be a 58% increase. So if we want to see that same type of increase, in other words, at that same distance travel, we're going to want to be able to see the price get upwards about 202. Okay. So again, this is a very, very strong estimation. In other words, I don't typically like to give these kind of estimates based on the sheer fact that, I don't think that coins usually move that fast. They shouldn't, right? If they do, then we can expect the price to come crashing down. But just say, pending Avalanche has a nice, healthy consolidation period for the next couple of days, and it decides to ramp up again like it did recently. We could see again upwards about 202, 200 plus essentially, in the upcoming future. Now, that being said, that doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen right away. But the bottom line here is that it was able to do that in less than 3 trading days. So, hypothetically, we could estimate that the next 3 trading days we'll see Avalanche to 202. Okay. Now, again, don't walk away and just hear 202, 3 days. That's not what I'm trying to get at. That would be a best case scenario. But just note that there's a lot of ground to cover here between now and then, right? It needs to be able to consolidate. It would likely have to retrace in order to kind of, step down to one of these next tiers. In fact, let's go ahead and mark that now. Let's go ahead and mark the resistance level. Resistance is tentatively 147. We've got right around, probably about 4 different support levels. So 135 is the next immediate support level. We've also got 126, and we'll go ahead and mark this guy down here at 113. So we'll just go ahead and see how the price kind of levels out in the near future. I'll cover this again here soon so you can kind of see what's going on. But, for right now, if you are in the profit, you're in the take profit, target, which I think anybody would be if they didn't just buy the top, then I would consider taking some profit. And then maybe, adding to your position if the price comes a little bit lower, because realistically, it shouldn't go much higher, if that makes sense, at least not right now. And that's just what the technical data is telling us. It could totally do something different tomorrow. We never truly know. A lot of these crypto coins get, wild hairs up their ass and just take off. We can't really, it's hard to anticipate that, right? But with the data here so far, short term, 3 days, 202 is the best case scenario. I think that's more realistic by month end and or year end, but we will see here soon. But it's just making healthy strides, and this is a good, healthy continuation. So it's definitely not a bad ramp up, right? That's why it could have a little bit more gas left in the tank. Just note it shouldn't have more gas left in the tank. that makes any sense. So again, we'll take a look at this again. Thanks so much for joining me here. Consider joining my Patreon community if you want to become a better trader. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much.